4x minus 2y equals negative 12, and 4x plus 8y equals negative 24. Okay, so this is going to be a fun time for us. Let's suppose you had this system. Technically, maybe, just maybe, some of you remember how to solve this system. I don't know why you know how to solve this system. We have not learned how to solve this system yet. But my question for you is that the answer? We have learned how to check if our solution is correct. So maybe you know how to solve it, maybe you don't. My question again is that point where those two lines cross? Down in the middle of talking to everyone else? How awkward. Okay. So your answer should be in the form of yes or no. Is that right? You guys ask me this all the time. Did I do it right? Is it right? Did I do it right? Find out. Go plug it in. Does anyone have a good answer to this question, Cece? A good answer. A good answer involves the word because. Just so you know. A good answer involves the word because. Now, Malaysia.
I think it's not the solution because when I put it into both equations, I get equal, like the same number.
Well, can you explain it to her? Hey, Luis, listen to her real fast. I know, it's been 10 minutes, and I don't know why that didn't happen yet, but I apologize. Okay, so Elijah said, you said no?
Yeah.
Because why? What'd you do?
Because I plugged it into both equations and it didn't equal out.
Plugged it in. What do you mean? Be more specific.
Like I put in the x, which would be 5.
Okay, this is x, okay.
For the x right there.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then I plugged in the negative 6 for y.
Uh-huh.
For both of them.
Okay. So what happens if I plug in, let's say I do that. I plugged in 5 for x and 6 for y. Okay, now what?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Oh, negative 20 plus 12.
Is what?
Negative 6.
This is negative 12?
Yeah, it equals, I'm finishing the thing.
Oh, okay. You want it like this.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to equal negative 12. And when you add them up, what's negative 20 plus 12?
Negative 20 plus 12 or negative 8?
Is negative 8 equal negative 12?
No.
No, you guys are smarter than that. That's crazy talk. Okay? That does not work. You know what? Once you check it even in there, it's not even worth plugging into the second equation. Right? If this doesn't work for here, it doesn't matter if it works for here or not, because it's not on, you know what, this point is not even on this line. Right. If so, like Charlie just said, if part of it's correct, incorrect, the whole thing's incorrect, right? You can't have like half of it be wrong and still be good. Now, this process of checking your answer is pretty crucial. And I'm just going to throw out there right now that on your quiz was the instruction to check your answer. So if you didn't check your answer, some of you are going to be pretty unhappy when you get your quiz back.
When are we getting back today?
Yep.
You getting back right now?
Nope.
Oh, come on.
Just putting that out there. You should know. I don't care. Listen. Nope. Listen. I don't care if you don't know how to do it. Really. I don't care if you get the wrong answer, but you should at least know you're wrong. Okay? I don't want you giving me some crazy answer that doesn't make any sense. Okay? So, the other thing that I hear lots of you telling me about is that you are struggling with your homework. I don't have it. Okay, so you guys want to go over the front or the back? Choose one. I'm not doing both.
Back.
I heard front. Okay, great. So,
Front one, the one with the most signs.
let's talk. And as we talk, don't even try and tell me that some of the crazy things you came up with were good. Okay? You had, what was his name? Jim? Frank? What was his name? Jim. He was selling hot dogs and steak sandwiches. The question was, again, this was the question, yes? How many hot dogs and how many steak sandwiches did he sell? Okay, so if that is the question, those two things are going to be the answer. Right? To answer the question, we need to find out how many hot dogs and how many steak sandwiches. Okay, so X, let's let X be the number of hot dogs. Make sure you label your variables. And Y be the number of steak sandwiches. If you didn't do your homework, or you did it terribly, maybe you should be doing it now so we can get credit for it. I don't care if it's on a blank sheet of paper. I call it homework 3.8. I don't have anymore.
I think I have next one. Yeah, could you give me full credit? 2.8 here. Oh, sorry, I don't have it. I'm sorry. Someone's supposed to know. Alright, but I won't.
Now listen. Okay. It tells you several things. It tells you he sold a total of 1243. Is that right? No. How many does it say total? 1292? 985. Okay. And I've told you there's two equations. You have the total items, and we have the total cost. Now, total items. Number of hot dogs, number of steak sandwiches. How many did he sell total?
985.
So this plus this, however many hot dogs plus however many sandwiches, must equal 985. Must. This is equation numero uno. You writing it down? Okay. The next equation is about cost. And it says on there how much per hot dog, how much per steak sandwich, and it says his total. How much was a hot dog? $2.95 X per hot dog. Plus, how much for a steak sandwich?
995.
So what should I write? Y?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And how much did he make?
734.
What?
375.
2?
375.
The last number.
375.
Like that? Thank you. Okay. These are the two equations. Luis, did you have it done perfectly, or did you tell me you weren't sure how to do it? Sorry, man, you're right in my eyesight. It just happened. And you're always looking towards me because you should be looking up there, and that's how I know. Okay. This problem is exactly like our notes that we have. Okay. We have some notes. It, in fact, was the same thing as our warm-up last time. And some notes we've taken before. First step. What's the first step to do? Boom. Solve one equation for y. So look, Kalanji, don't. You have a choice. Which equation do you want to solve for y? This one or this one? Why the top one? Because it's easy. And let's go the easiest way possible. I know you guys want to as well. Okay, so I have this equation. How do I solve it for y? Boom. Subtract x to the other side. So we get y equals 985 minus x. Now, once we know what y equals, what do I get to do with it? Look, what are you guys trying to tell me you were confused? Everyone's all good. Take this, plug it in for y. Elijah, please write this down. Okay, so I plug it in for y. So that my new equation is 295x plus 995. Instead of y, I'm plugging in 985. is equal to $7,000 something. So my expectation at this point, it is December. Maybe, just maybe, you're going to try and tell me you had a hard time setting this up. To which I will ask why you didn't come and get help. Okay? We were here yesterday, during lunch, in the morning today. I was even here Friday after school. Okay? If you didn't know how to do this, I didn't know, or I tried, is not acceptable for me.
Wait, do they have Saturday school?
No.
You come here during the weekend?
No. Although we'll see about this Saturday. A little behind on stockings. Talk about that tomorrow. All right.
Never mind. I got work. I work on Saturday.
I know. Yeah. Hey. Hey. Then you better do some work tomorrow. But a lot of people didn't do the homework, so I don't know what to tell you. Hey. From here, maybe you had a hard time getting this equation set up. I would expect that we are all making progress on solving this equation. Okay? I, in fact, don't think I saw a single correct answer on homework. Some people made a much... Some people made a much better effort than others. All of you right now need to solve this equation. Yes. Solve it. Yes. Time. Ka-ching. Go. Don't ask if it's right. I don't know. Plug it in.
I'm just putting the whole equation in.
A lot of... Okay. Here's some answers that I saw.
No. I have 3 5 1.
Why is that not a good answer?
Because there's no way he sold that many hot dogs.
Go, what do you mean?
Well, there's no way he sold that.
How do you know? How do we know this is no good?
Just multiply that by 2.95. You didn't divide it. It's probably...
Because he says he sold a total of 985. You're right. You could find out the money as well. But he sold a total of 985 items. If this is the number of hot dogs, he didn't buy. Yeah, that didn't happen. Okay, so this is no good. What about this one? Why can't it be negative?
We got it.
Right? Like if we look at our inventory and we find out that we sold negative items, bad news bears there. Right? That means everyone's stealing from us. Okay, so we should have an answer that at least makes a little bit of sense. Okay? Here, once you distribute that 995 and follow it through, you should end up with 351. Okay? And if, right, a lot of you guys, this is where I saw most of the errors, this little negative sign on the 7, maybe you had it right here, and then we just stop writing things. You can't let things disappear in math. It'll ruin you. Okay? Make sure that negative stayed there.
I
Yeah.
never even used 7 as a negative though. I never even had negative 7. I just thought it was subtractive.
You should some voodoo math.
I think so.
Just, we'll see on this next one. Okay. Are we done though? Did we finish?
I finished, Ms.Stolte.
Technically, we need to do this.
It's all for why.
If it was 985 minus 351, you get
34.
34?
Yeah.
And then we would need to check our answer.
With the x plus y equals.
Okay? And check. Now,
Me and Chris finished first.
please make sure you have this written down. We'll count it as some of our notes for today because we're going to do another activity. Hold on, you didn't answer the question though.
I did.
How many hot dogs, how many 6 sandwiches? Okay? So make sure you have this down. This method that you told me was rough, we're going to do again. Okay, we're going to do this again. You guys are going to work in elbow partners. Edgar, I want you to work with Charlie.
I'll work with you.
Yeah. Quinn, you're going to work with Rosario. So Rosario, you can just turn around and work with Quinn, or Quinn turn around. I'll help you out. One of your elbow pairs, one of you needs to come get a single sheet of yellow paper. Quick. I want these back. Don't mess them up. One piece of paper.
For each of us or just?
Per pair. You and your pair need one piece of paper. And 2 paper clips. One piece of paper. No, they can be lazy. Hey, lazy bones, get over here. Here. Well, one of you should be over here. Get over here. Hemo and Alasia. Give it back to me, please.
I will.
Really? You want to check? They both.
Hi. Hi. You need that. Listen, please. Listen, don't even touch the pennies yet. Listen.
Yeah, man, don't touch those.
There should be. Draw a line down the middle of your paper. So you should have a 2 by 12 box with a line down the middle. 2 by 12 box at the top, line down the middle. 2 by 12 box in the middle, line down the middle. We'll worry about the pennies later. Don't mess with them. We have 2 examples to do. Again, like before, I'm going to give you 2 examples and pretty much only 2 examples. Okay? Just so we can take these notes down, and then I'm not really going to go over it anymore. In the middle of the box, write the word. Elimination. Elimination. This is the last and final way of solving systems of equations, and there are 2 versions of it. The first version is subtracting. Okay, that's one version, is subtracting. So that if we have a system like, say, 2x plus 3y equals 7 and 2x plus 6y equals 1, okay, if you guys are looking at that system, if the clips and pennies problem was hard, this now is near impossible. Right? So here's what we're going to do.
2x plus 5, 2x equals 25. What is 5 with it? 6. Solve it? Oh.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First step. We are going to subtract these two equations. And we're going to subtract each part. So I'm going to rewrite my equations. 2x plus 3y equals 7, and 2x plus 6y equals 1. And we are going to subtract each part of them. So instead of substituting, instead of plugging stuff in to make a new equation, we're going to make our new equation by subtracting. Okay, so I'm going to do 2x minus 2x, 3y minus 6y, and 7 minus 1. I'm going to subtract each part, subtract the x's, the y's, and the numbers at the end. So that, what's 2x minus 2x? 0. Those are gone. What's 3y minus 6y? And 7 minus 1. Would you look at that? A nice, simple little equation. Okay? So now that we have that, we're going to finish solving it. Solve the new equation. All right, so I would solve that. If I have negative 3y equals 6, I could solve it in my head by looking at it and thinking for a second. I could solve it algebraically. How do I move that negative 3 to the other side? Ooh, it says times. Negative 3 times y, what's the opposite?
Divide.
There we go. Divide. So we have y equals negative 2. And of course, if we know y, the other part, the last piece still stays the same. We need to plug in and solve for x. Right? So I'm going to go with our top equation just because it's easiest. So that one way up there above the clock, that's the equation I'm going to use. 2x plus 3y equals 7. And so to find out what x is now, take your negative 2, plug it in for y, and all of you guys right now go ahead and finish solving for x. Finish solving for x. This is the, quote, harder of the two versions. Okay? If one of them was subtracting, what's the other version? Adding. Okay. So, for adding, here's what it's going to look like. We might have a system that says 8x plus 4y equals 20. And 2x minus 4y equals negative 30. So let's suppose this was our system. And instead of adding the two equations, I'm just kidding, instead of subtracting, we are going to add the equations. Okay, we're just going to add them up. So what that looks like, and I'm going to rewrite them underneath so that I can add them. Okay, if I'm adding them up, I'm adding each piece. I'm adding x and x, adding y, and adding the numbers at the end. So if we're adding them, what's 8x plus 2x? There we go. What's 4y plus negative 4y? And what's 20 plus negative 30? Negative 10. So just like before, here's the piece I need to point out to you guys. Okay, look. The 0, the y's are gone. That's the goal. When you're using elimination, the goal is to eliminate or get rid of one of the variables. Okay, why was it that here the x is eliminated? Why? Why did the x's get rid of each other there? What do you mean they're the same amount, Andrew? Since they're both 2x, that means I'm going to eliminate the x's. So then why are the y's going to be eliminated here? Because they're still, we're looking at these numbers in front. And that's how we're going to tell. That's the only decision you have to make about elimination. Okay, so our new equation.
Why didn't you do a y?
That's our new equation. The y's are gone. Yep. Divide by what?
Divide 10 and the other side.
So what's x equal?
-1.
So then your last step would be to plug it in and solve for y. Again, I'm just going to go with the top equation. So I just plug it into the first one. 4y equals 20. Take that and plug it in. And solve for y. Seven. Awesome. So here's what you guys are going to do. All right. So yes, you should have got 7. And now here's what we're going to do. You have 2 systems. On another page. Whew. 2 systems. Here's what I want to see. The first